And this is to go even further beyond generations. Dawson's Rentals. Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here. Welcome to my video discussing and sort of breaking down. It's more of a discussion than a breakdown. The trailer for the upcoming Kamen Rider Beyond Generations movie. It's kind of both a Saber Revice team up and a bit of an anniversary movie. I usually don't cover these, but I felt like it. And just to preface this at the beginning, this isn't intended to be an overly negative video, but I just want to say that if you're not a regular viewer, then you might know that I'm not a fan of these types of movies. So I have some very strong opinions on them that might be in there, but I'm not intending it to be mean-spirited. They're just kind of my overall thoughts. Like I said, this movie is kind of part team-up of just the most recent writers and part anniversary movie, and so I have to cut it some slack there because one of my main complaints is we're doing that thing that I hate about the Toku movies in the last decade, is when they just bring a bunch of empty suits back, where the actor's not there. Sometimes they have a voice, sometimes they don't, but it's just so meaningless. Like, sure, the first couple times it happened, you know, it was cool, like, holy crap, look at all those suits together. But after the 450th time they've done it in the last 10 years, it's just so empty. So I get tired of them shoehorning in a bunch of people that don't need to be there. I'm cutting them a smidge of slack, though, on this one, just because it is the anniversary year, so it makes sense that they wanted to try to have more than just Revice and Saber there. The main plot, I guess, is you have this guy, Kamen Rider Century, who is going to be traveling around trying to figure out why these morons are always fighting each other, because it's funny that the riders really do fight each other more than they do the villains, and especially in the team-up movies, they're always fighting over some sort of easily cleared up misunderstanding. It's funny, actually, I was rewatching the Power Rangers team-ups for my review series this year, and I watched the Masked Rider MMPR one, and there's an exchange where Masked Rider's fighting the Rangers over misunderstanding, and Tommy says, wait, you have to listen. He goes,
I don't have to listen to anything.
and that sums up every Tyson movie for the history of time. And along the way, of course, he's going to meet Saber and their cast and Revice and their cast, because it's kind of like that team-up movie. And see, I'd be fine with this. You know, kind of like the old annual Sentai Versus movie. Just do a team-up between this year's cast and last year's cast. I always like those. It gives you something to look forward to for the year, and you get to get a little bit of an epilogue-y story with the previous cast, like Saber. Like, it looks like there's going to be a little scene with Rintaro and the girl whose name I'm forgetting already, Saber Girl, like maybe following up on that. I like that. That's no big deal. I have no problems with doing that. I liked that every year with Sentai. Because back in my day, Rider didn't do crossovers when I first got into Toku. It was just the annual Sentai one, and it used to be like Christmas. You'd look forward to it. And now, Sentai's team-ups and specials are sporadic, and Rider every Tuesday brings every suit back that they can, and it's just not special anymore. I have no problem with them doing an annual team-up between the current and the last year's cast, and I just don't need them to shoehorn a bunch of people in there, whether they have the actors or not. Again, I'm cutting them slack this year, even though it doesn't excite me, because I know it's an anniversary year and they want to incorporate these other characters, and it looks like there's like an old man George or something on a checklist, and there's just a bunch of empty suits there. I don't know if they're going to have some of these actors back as a surprise or some of the voice acting, but it's just, I hate those meaningless shots of just a bunch of people in there. It'd be nice if they could only have the people suit up that are there, but even when they can get actors back, I prefer them to just hold off and do it like now. This is the 50th anniversary. This is when you bring back more people than just the current cast. That's fine. But on the other years where it's not an anniversary, you don't need to bring back every Tom, Dick, and Harry. I digress, though. You know, it's not my thing, and I feel like they've just really oversaturated it, and these types of crossovers used to be something really special that I looked forward to, and I just feel the oversaturation of it and the carelessness of it has just kind of waned my excitement on it. On a positive note, I really do like the suit design of the new Rider, and the whole future thing, and the plot concept reminds me a little bit of Kamen Rider Aqua. You know, I think that looks pretty interesting, and I'm kind of looking forward to, when I eventually watch this, seeing some of the interactions between the two casts, and I hope they kind of keep it a little bit more intimate. Like, I will see this movie eventually. I've taken a break these last couple years from the big Toku crossovers, specifically the Rider ones, because I realized that they were just making me mad, and like I was just annoyed at their very existence and their messiness. Not to mention, even without all the crossover tiredness, they're just bad movies, and I'm just not in the mood to watch something that makes me mad. So I'm taking a little bit of a break, but sometime in the future, when I'm in a little bit of better spirits about it, maybe I've had a few drinks, I'll probably watch them, but I'm not exactly jumping out of my seat to go see this. Mainly because, too, these crossovers usually have very little to do with the main plot of the show, so it's not must-see viewing for the overall experience of the show, so I feel comfortable sort of taking a break on those for a while, but But yeah, you know, what do you guys think? Are you excited for this movie? Would you also like me maybe like to see them cool it a little bit on the crossovers and take a little bit of a more dialed back approach? Let me know in the comments as always. Until next time, like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell so you get notifications for my videos. Dawson Rider, signing out.